Hello and welcome everyone to another week here in West Michigan and another Daily 8 on the News 8 Live Desk. Phil Penarski here with the top 8 stories of the day on this Monday. We're going to get things started in Muskegon with news that broke yesterday morning. According to the Muskegon Fire Department, a man is dead after a structure fire over the weekend. It was just after 7 a.m. when firefighters were called to the scene near Cozier Avenue and Leon Street. There they were met with what they called heavy fire conditions at the front of a home. Firefighters entered the home after a neighbor told them that the homeowner's truck was parked outside. The 70-year-old man was later found on the hallway floor of the home. Life-saving measures were attempted, but the man was later pronounced dead at the scene. At this time, the man's identity has yet to be released, and the cause of the fire is still being investigated by local law enforcement. The National Transportation Safety Board has identified nearly 70 bridges across the United States that need to be re-evaluated for risk of collapse, and one of them resides here in Michigan. The Mackinac Bridge was just one of 68 bridges in the country that the board will be looking at. The full list was released earlier this month. They will undergo assessments to determine the overall risk of collapse in the event the bridges are struck by a moving vessel. This comes in the wake of the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse outside of Baltimore last year. Wednesday marks the one-year anniversary of that tragedy. Now, because the Mackinac Bridge is on the list does not mean that it's certain to collapse if struck. The owners should just evaluate if the bridges are above the risk level. Other bridges in the list include the Golden Gate Bridge, Brooklyn Bridge, and Chicago Skyway. The Polish Heritage Society of Grand Rapids is looking to help honor the life and legacy of not only a local boxing champion, but a local community champion as well. Stanley Ketchel, formerly known as the Michigan Assassin, was one of boxing's forefathers. During his peak, Ketchel had a 39-fight stretch where he did not drop a decision in the early 1900s. He also took on boxing great Jack Johnson when the heavyweight champ had difficulty finding opponents. Ketchel died in 1910 at just 24 years old, and a monument was dedicated in his honor in 1912. Now, more than 112 years later, the space at Holy Cross Cemetery is in dire need of repair. That's where the Polish Heritage Society comes in. The group is looking to fix a giant crack in the monument's concrete base and discoloration, as well as some other issues with the monument. It's expected to cost about $2,000, and thankfully they met that monetary goal last week. The group says that they plan to start work to fix it as early as this week. And what a weekend for sports as March Madness continues, and both the Michigan Wolverines and the Michigan State Spartans made their way to the Sweet 16. The Wolverines had to hold off UC San Diego in the first round and had an easier time against Texas A&M on Saturday. They now get to face off against the #1 overall seed in the tournament in Auburn. The Spartans, on the other hand, the second seed in the South Quadrant, got past Bryant and New Mexico over the weekend and will now take on the Ole Miss Rebels, who are fresh off a dominating victory over the 3-seeded Iowa State Cyclones. The times for these matchups have now been set for Friday. MSU will play just after 7 p.m. and the Wolverines will tip off just after 9:30 p.m. local time. If both the Spartans and Wolverines win on Friday, well, then they will face off against each other on Sunday with a berth in the Final Four on the line. Here's hoping that the basketball gods love rivalries just as much as the football gods. And sticking with the sports trend, a local nonprofit is looking to make sure everyone knows that the sport of hockey is for everyone. The West Michigan Special Hockey Association brings kids and adults with disabilities together to hit the ice on Sundays and experience the game that they love. High school and college athletes actually volunteer their time to teach and play alongside these individuals at Patterson Ice Center. Our very own Byron Tollefson got to spend the afternoon with the group yesterday and see how this league was improving these people's lives in a fun environment. You can find that full story right now over on our website, woodtv.com, and you can also find out how to join the league if you're interested as well. And happy Oberon Day to all who celebrate, and the celebration is happening down at Bell's Brewery today in Kalamazoo. And new this year is Oberon Light, the low-calorie version of the spring and summertime favorite. It usually marks the start of the warmer weather trends, but clearly Mother Nature had different ideas for today. The fun has started over at Bell's Eccentric Cafe. This year's Oberon Day celebration theme is Midwest State Fair. You will find carnival games, live music, food, and of course, plenty of Oberon all day today. But if you can't make it out to Bell's today, don't worry. You should be able to still grab your Oberons and get that fix at plenty of West Michigan stops and grocery stores this week. Now let's step aside now and get you a look at your forecast for today. Here's Storm Teammate meteorologist Matt Kirkwood.
Well, this is going to be a spring day that's going to remind you of the season previous. It's going to feel and look more like winter out there. Air of low pressure moving through the Straits area is going to kick off into Canada. On the backside of it, trough moves through, and that's going to enhance the snow showers today, especially during the morning hours. Temperatures remaining steady right on through the rest of the day. I think in Grand Rapids, about a half an inch to inch is possible. Notice that sunset time closing in on 8 o'clock. Good to see that. Winter weather advisories, probably not great to see that. Up around Oceana County, Newaygo County, Mecosta County, and points to the north, 1 to 3 inches of snow expected there. Again, most of it during the morning hours. So feeling more like winter today, but a gradual warming trend. And midweek looks dry. Start to really feel those warmer temperatures arrive on Thursday. Boy, that's a big question mark for this upcoming weekend. Forecast models have a warm front kind of draped right over lower Michigan, and it just depends on that location. It's going to make a huge difference in those temperatures. So don't be surprised, some changes, at least some tweaks for this weekend in terms of the temperatures, but it does look occasionally wet.
All right, thanks, Matt. We end things today with a new way to explore the city of Grand Rapids. A new interactive experience called City Games transforms the city into a giant board game. The game, which is free to play, offers a variety of challenges like scavenger hunts, riddles, and selfie safaris that are linked to spots in Grand Rapids and also events as well that are happening inside the city. It's ran through a smartphone app that you can download. News 8 got the chance to speak to the founder of City Games, who said that he wanted to give people a chance to not only explore Grand Rapids, but have fun while doing it. The first season of City Games began this past fall with about 200 players joining in on the fun. The new season will continue through May 4th. It's easy to join, and we have all that information you need right now over on our website, woodtv.com. And that's going to do it for us today on the Daily 8. We will, of course, have an extended version coming up on Wood TV Plus today at 2 p.m. Hopefully, we will see you there. And if not, no worries. We will be back again tomorrow. Same time, same place for 8 more stories ahead of your Tuesday. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning into this latest edition of the News 8 Live Desk. I'm Phil Penarski, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.